Hey, this is Trace. It has finally cooled off to the point to where I can actually record comfortably in the studio. It's been hot here in Portland for the last couple of months. But during that time, I've been doing more work with the top-down configuration that I learned from Mr. Paul Horn in his studio video. And again, it has been absolutely transformative. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through many of my microphones to see how well they do in the top-down configuration. And right now, this is the MXL 990. This is the least expensive microphone in my collection, and it is also a large diaphragm, not full large diaphragm. I think this one is slightly smaller than 1 inch, and then the 770 is a little larger than this one. But what I'm doing is I'm just going through my microphones to see how well they handle my lowest note flute that I play the most. I have some lower flutes in here, but they are loud enough that entry-level microphones pick them up just fine. But one of the issues with lower-end microphones is they do not like lower notes. They are more tailored toward vocals and tailored toward higher frequencies. But when you start getting into the lower notes, that's when these things start bottoming out. So let's go through some MXL 990, and then we'll go to the screen and we'll take a look at it. I think what I'll do is I'm going to play a little bit, and then I'm going to chop this up, and we're going to start looking at the waveform, and I'll start pointing out the lower notes. And then we'll see how well they stack up against the rest of the notes in the scale on the flute. So let's turn the effects on. Okay, this note here I'm about to play, that's the one I'm looking at the most. Okay, let's go to the screen. Let's take a look at the waveforms, and then I'll be right back here. Okay, so what I have here is the flute recording from the video, and I saved it to a wave, and then I uploaded it into Audacity. All right, now what I'm looking for when I'm evaluating a microphone is I'm looking at how well it handles the lowest note on the flute as compared to the highest note. And one of the things I noticed about the 990 was I really had to put some power into that lower note to get a good signal from it. Well, with the most power that I could muster to put through the flute without it going into the second octave, this is how much space was between the highest note, well, the highest note here, and the lowest note here. Let's see, and then here's another one. And for me, the closest that lowest note is, the peaks from the lowest note, is to the peak of the highest note, the better. And I have a personal minimum of in the -2 decibel range. And this one, let's see. Yeah. And that's with trying real hard with this flute. Okay, during those last 2 months when it was too hot to record, one of the things that I established is the distance that I needed to be from the microphone. And I established that no less than 4 inches from the microphone for me was optimal to get the sound that I wanted, because any closer, the microphone would pick up breath noises and wind noises coming from the flute. And at that distance, the MXL 990 struggles with the signal from that lowest note. Let's leave this here. I'm going to start testing more capable microphones with the more challenging instruments for me to play. But I have nothing bad to say about the MXL 990. For $80 microphone, this thing does just fine for my voice, podcasting, narration, and some instruments. But when it comes to more complex instruments, and especially instruments that record in the lower registers, that's when I need to step up to a more capable, especially full large diaphragm condenser microphone. But that's all I got, and thanks for hanging out with me while I figure all this stuff out, and good luck with your projects, and we'll see you next time.